And it's 36 laps this race, holy crap.
Okay, lights are on.
Lights are on, here we go. Everyone say a little prayer. Where's my spectator menu? There it is. Why have we got the pit stop strategy? And we're away. Mr. Nathan seems to keep clean. Elias going around the outside.
It seems all cars are through.
That's an awful camera angle, director. Yep, everyone seems to have gotten through safely so far.
Okay, I see some carbon fiber flying in the banked corner. I see, oh, that's a big one. A Mercedes, a Haas, a McLaren. We got a yellow, we got a virtual safety car.
That's Val Destroyer. And 5-second penalties everywhere.
We got
Silex.
Val Destroyer, push it in there, and Silex.
Tim is there as well. Yep, Silex, Tim, Val Destroyer. Where is Verstappen? It seemed to be those three. Virtual safety car. We have a lot of penalties. Let me try and check the race director. I've got it, so you don't have to cut off the stream. Okay. Tim, Bottas, Pampernick, Val Destroyer, Simon Elite, Gwyn, Chrissy, Silex, Verstappen, Wolf, Azire. Wolf gets another one. Falsetti twice. They've all got 5-second penalties. Oh, the stewards' room's going to be an absolute mess.
Okay, and we're on our way again.
And Vexit has got a really good runaway. He's already out of a second, but then it doesn't matter because there is no DRS. Mr. Nathan following through has held on to second. Elias, Mammal, Mitso, Vexit with the fastest lap of the race. Falsetti's up to P6. And we have that's Simon Elite diving into the pits. Same for Bottas Gang. Bottas Gang in the pits. The championship leader is in trouble. He's in for a front wing change. So,
it's getting very busy in the pits.
Azire, Val Destroyer, Wolf, Mike. I mean, most of those ones were at the back, but the surprise for me is Bottas Gang. I thought he got away quite cleanly there. But no, he is in the pits, and Silex actually surviving with no damage. Verstappen carrying on with damage. Marky Mark, who started near the back, is now up to 11th. Yes, thank you, pit stop strategy. I don't need to see you anymore. Gwyn is up to 10th. Chrissy 9th. Pampernick is in 8th. Vantas all the way up to 7th. How did he get up there? That's a brilliant job from Vantas. As I say, Falsetti P6, Mitso's P5, Mammal P4, Elias P3, Mr. Nathan P2, and Vexit leading the field. We got yellow sector 2. That's Gwyn. And he's tumbling down the order now down to 13th. So Marky Mark gets inside the points for Red Bull. Where is Bottas Gang? How far behind is he? My timing screen's all messed up.
Mine too. It says 1 minute 52, but it's not possible. Yellow's in sector 1.
That was a Ferrari from the looks of it. I imagine that was Wolf. Yes, it's Wolf. It was Wolf. As Bottas Gang apparently has gone purple in sector 2. But he has a lot of catching up to do. 16th of the minute and chasing down Simon Elite. Well, Bottas was saying he hoped this race would be an absolute clusterfuck, and
okay, we have a nice fight between Elias and Mammal. And Mitso as well, all within a second. All within half a second.
Elias starting to drop back a little bit. This is a completely different terrain for these drivers. We don't know really who does well in the wet, by comparison to everyone else. Yep, Mitso right on the tail of Mammal. Right, seriously, if I see that predicted pit stop strategy one more time, I'm going to end this game's existence. As Mito goes up the inside, bumps across the curb, and loses speed in the process. Mammal holding his line. As we have a lot of cars trying to break the slipstream. That's Falsetti.
Around the outside.
Squeezes. No, he can't. Mammal holding his line. That was a good defensive drive from Mammal there. But Mitso is finding grip where Mammal cannot. But Mammal being very good in his defense. Measured, calm. And we'll want to keep an eye on these two as Falsetti is now coming under pressure from Vanitas. Of course, Falsetti and Vanitas did have a good few battles back in Season 1.
Oh, I also noticed they fixed the drive-on numbers on the cars.
Oh, so they did. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for small mercies. As Bottas Gang's in the pits again.
Again?
He's now down to 19th. Did he have damage?
I don't know, he's just out.
Well, this is disaster for the championship leader. He was only 1 point ahead of Mitsu, and at this rate, Mitsu would overtake Bottas Gang. I don't know if he takes the lead of the championship if it stays as is, because Vexit was fairly close, and that's 25 points heading his way. We'll have to work it all out at the end. But as it stands, Mitsu is locked into 5th place and is unable to get past Mammal, who has been surprisingly good so far in the races he's been in. And showing maturity here. A measured drive so far. But we're only 5 laps in, of course. As Gwyn makes his tries to make his recovery, he's just got past Verstappen for 12th. And just to let you know, the big winners, the biggest winner in these opening sorties, Vanitas, who went up 8 places. The biggest losers, tied between Tim and Bottas Gang, both down 9 places. And Vanitas looking to make it past Falsetti. Holds it round the outside. We got yellow sector 3, that's a Williams in the wall. That's a Zaire. As he now is overtaken by Bottas Gang. Verstappen and Silex are now battling. Apparently. But they're nowhere near on track. Silex must have had a spin. And still, Mitsu is still trying to get past Mammal, but Falsetti is starting to form a bit of a train here. Vanitas and Pampernick and Chrissy are all gaining on him. No DRS, of course. This is old school style racing. Though they do have the overtake button, if they so wish. And Mitsu does finally make the move. Gets past Mammal and is now in pursuit of Elias.
You checked the weather right?
What's wrong?
You checked the weather before. Is it raining the whole race? Or is it drying up?
I did not check the weather. No, I didn't check the weather. But judging from the looks of the sky, I'd say it is raining the whole race. You know, if it's going to brighten up, you will see some blue sky. But as it stands, that's all grey all the time.
Yeah, now you say it.
Silex in the pits. And still Vanitas unable to find a way past Falsetti.
Well, it's not easy on this surface.
No, it isn't, as Bottas Gang sets the fastest lap. But he is some way away behind the leaders now. In fact, if I can get the...
Well, it's half a lap down. No, 3/4.
Yes, gap to the leader is 58 seconds. This is not where he wanted to be. Had a difficult qualifying, and now he's having a difficult race.
Vexit is just cruising at 4.5 seconds in front of Nathan.
As Mitsu has gotten past Elias for P3.
Oh, I missed it.
I know, and he's now... I missed it as well, it was so quick. And now he is chasing down Mr. Nathan. It's a brilliant drive from Mitsu so far. He's mastered the wet conditions, it seems. But Vexit is doing well as well. 4.5 the gap between first and second. And of course this means Vexit can manage his tyres, manage his pace, whereas Mitsu will be pushing as hard as he can. And the thing is, once those intermediates are gone, they're gone, because they effectively become slick tyres. Which is great if the track is drying, but it really isn't at this point. You can still see the great rooster tails of spray.
And also, Vanitas climbed up a spot.
I really wish the game would make more of a big deal about these positions, because it's so easy to miss them. It just is like, oh, here's a little green arrow. Closest gap on track at the minute. Nitso and Mr. Nathan. Well, actually, sorry, Pampernick and Falsetti, I should say. Of course, Pampernick desperate to regain some ground after running into difficulties in some previous races. Most notably... Yep. Most notably Vietnam, of course, where he actually had an altercation with Nitso. As Mammal and Elias are battling. And Mammal getting through. I was around the outside there. And Elias starting to fall back a little bit. Just starting to struggle. As Mammal wants that podium position back. Back with Pampernick, chasing down Falsetti, who is... Excuse me. Who is having a better showing than previous races, but Chrissy right on the tail. Just keeping an eye. Mitsu may have a chance to get past Mr. Nathan here if he hooks it up well through this final corner. And it looks like he has done. Is the slipstream and the overtake going to be enough? Of course, no DRS. No, it is not enough, Mr. Nathan. Managing his battery well. And the gap ever increasing. 5.5 the gap now to the leader. Oh, Chrissy and Pampernick. Chrissy trying to go around the outside and... Ooh, nearly losing the back end and nearly taking Pampernick out with him. Don't know if Chrissy has a better setup on. But Falsetti is holding them up here because Vantas is already 2 seconds ahead.
It might be that Pampernick isn't racing with his racing line on.
That's true, although I don't see why he wouldn't, because he is new to this track. He's gone a bit wide there. Chrissy can sense an opportunity, perhaps.
Oh, they crashed. They crashed.
Oh, no. And that was Chrissy's fault entirely. That was Chrissy's fault. He spun him round effectively, so I have a funny feeling that Chrissy will be getting a penalty for that, because the game didn't give him one. But even though he may use the excuse of, oh well, the track was wet, I couldn't control it, that's not an excuse. It's up to the driver to ensure that they remain in control of their car at all times. If by loss of control it causes another driver to be crashed out, that is still them at fault. So I have a funny feeling that a penalty will be heading Chrissy's way. Pampernick takes to the pits in response. He's got a penalty. Well, he served his 5 seconds, though he might want to vote to get that removed after the first corner. No damage, he's just changing onto fresh rubber. Maybe seeing it as a chance to get ahead of the others, using an undercut. He may as well at this point.
Alex said it's very early to go to a new set of inters.
Well, he could go to a 2-stop. Have more life in the tyres. Okay, you got yellows in sector 1. It's a Ferrari going very slowly. Wonder if he just lost the back end there. And had to sort of catch it and recover. Nope.
I think it just lost it.
Back on the track meanwhile. That's giving Falsetti a bit of breathing room because Chrissy had to back off. As Mitsu continues his pursuit of Mr. Nathan and still not able to catch and get past him. Gaining, certainly, but Mr. Nathan managing this well. But the gap's still increasing in the front, 5.7 now. And Vexit. He's already got a podium this season. How much he would love to get on the top step. Especially in that Williams. Ow! Sorry, my ear just went there. Ow.
Yeah, I see Mr. Nathan is under pressure. He has
and Wolf's retired.
He has far less energy left compared to Nitso.
But he's still managing it well. Yes, Wolf has retired. He's retired in the pit lane as well, so good on him. Okay, although the car has come back out onto the track.
Yeah, but it stopped already.
Thank goodness. Yes, so Falsetti gets 3 seconds for multiple warnings. And Mitso ever closer. Yellow's in sector 1 now. Or is that... No, that is still Wolf, sorry. It flashed off and then flashed on for me. Wolf simply says, pain. And yes, that looked like a pretty painful experience.
Yeah, that was 10 minutes ago. It must be the start of
the
race,
was it?
I guess.
Oh, you did post that 10 minutes ago. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay, we have a Mercedes out. Bottas gang is out. Silex is
It's
out.
so Silex.
AlphaTauri, Red Bull.
Oh, we've got a
It's
pile up.
big
Let's Val
pile
Destroyer
up.
into the back. Tim's
Tim
retired.
is retired. Silex, Bottas gang. I didn't catch it on stream, but that's a big mess.
How on earth is that only a virtual safety car?
That's strange. It should have been a full safety.
Oh, what's happening there? Oh,
Oh,
God.
and another Red Bull.
That was a Zyre hitting the back of the Red Bull. No, that was a Zyre clipping the Red Bull.
It was Zyre hitting the Red Bull.
Yeah, he clipped him and kept on going and spun the Red Bull round. I think Zyre does have damage, though. Does he?
I
Let me have a
can't
look,
see in this camera angle.
I'm trying to... No, he
look
doesn't.
like it. No.
How the heck did he get away with that? Falsetti has a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. Disaster.
Yeah, he also has no wing left. Oh wait, no, that's Simon. Falsetti, no damage.
No damage, but speeding under the safety car. As Vantas has overtaken Elias. Oh no, wait, sorry, we've gone back to racing. Sorry, my bad. Well, Elias was caught napping there massively, and Vantas just says thank you very much and takes 5th place. Now, Mitso has it all to do again, trying to catch Mr. Nathan, and Mr. Nathan was sleeping on the safety car as well because Vexic is now 7 seconds up the road. Will Mitso have a chance this time? Still not close enough. Mr. Nathan obviously saving his battery for the main straight as Val Destroyer pits. Now, how much do you want to bet that the Discord will be nice and civil whenever they all get to typing in it?
Nothing at all. I think it will be busy.
The stewards will be busy, but disaster, the big story there. Bottas gang out. The championship leader will not increase his championship lead and will surely lose it now to Mitso, if not possibly even Vexit. If things stay as they are, I think 25 points will put Vexit right in there.
Bottas gang is saying, what the frick? Try to keep the car off track, but it just went yeet. Sorry, Silex.
So that he has acknowledged he was at fault there. I think it was a bit of a racing incident, that one then. It was a bit of a blind corner, although for the pile-up afterwards, you would have to say either A, there should have been a safety car, but also, to be fair, if there are yellow flags, I know it's just in this game, it's not taken seriously, you just have to sort of watch where you're going, but you really should slow down a bit. The yellow flags are there to say there is a hazard, you need to watch out. Speaking of watching out, Mr. Nathan better watch his rear views because Mitso is closing, but still not quite close enough. Had a snifter, but nothing doing. Obviously trying to save his battery for the main straight, but Mr. Nathan doing the exact same thing. And Mammal is not exactly leaving, being left in the dust there. I think Pampernick, I have to say as well, I think the reason Pampernick pays is I think he was betting on a full safety car.
Yeah,
If he had got that full safety car for that incident, because I'm surprised it wasn't. If he had got that, I think that would have been... He would have benefited massively from that, but unfortunately all he got was a virtual. Which, again, I feel that was the wrong decision, especially with a pile-up that big. But for some reason we get a full safety car if, someone chips a wing or something. Yeah, it's the battle still to watch the minute. Mitso and Mr. Nathan, although Chrissy is also gaining on Falsetti down in 8th and 9th. So both Force India's racing points, whatever you want to call them, on the move. Although Mito further back this time round. Must have had a bit of a scruffy lap there. Mr. Nathan, as I have said, may not be the quickest on the track, but he is consistent. And it's serving him well so far.
We have Val Destroyer in the pit and he retires.
Unfortunate he was caught in that pile-up. It'll be interesting to get Bottas's viewpoint, because he does record his races. It'll be interesting to see what happened. And, that car has come back out onto the track.
He's come out, so that's not...
But that's his AI. Is it? No, wait.
It must be, he is...
Why is his AI still driving? Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
Oh my god.
That's not Vanitas, is it? No, it's not. He hit retire in the pits. Now, he didn't do anything wrong there. Why is Valdesroyer's AI still... Or is that... No. Is that Vanitas? Yeah, well, so was his car. So was Valdesroyer's car. Okay, it's stopped now. How the hell did it make it around there when he retired in the pits? That's amazing. Anywho, back to the action on track. Chrissy has dropped back a little bit. Mitso still unable to catch and pass Mr. Nathan.
Well, on a track like this, you have to wait for a mistake of the driver in front of you, because there are not a lot overtaking opportunities.
Well, unless the tires go off and Mr. Nathan maybe overestimates a curb, it doesn't look like he's going to make that many. Mr. Nathan honestly looks a bit like an AI. He's just very consistently on the racing line. Not the fastest there, but he's keeping it smooth, keeping it on the track. And Mitsuno occasionally loses the back end, hits the accelerator a little bit too early, and it is costing him. As Verstappen and Mike do battle for a matter of pride in 12th and 13th. And Mike winning out that one in a minute. Verstappen still carrying that damage from lap 1. Valdesroy says, nice carriage to Bottas gang. And Sayax responding, all good, was hopeless anyway. So they've all made up. They've actually been much more civil than I thought they would be. Mitsu has pitted. So obviously thinking, I can't get past Mr. Nathan on the track, I'm going to have to undercut him. Valdesroy asking, what happened first lap with 5 cars in the wall? I'm sure we'll get footage of that. And Bottas gang also said, yes, VSC. Obviously in agreement with us that should have been a full safety car. So, let's keep an eye on Vexit and Mr. Nathan. Vexit should be safe, but will Mr. Nathan respond with a pit stop? Mike has 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Pampernik is pitting again.
Only 7 laps, 8 laps on the tire set.
Yes, Bottas, if you want to post footage, you can. Doesn't even have to be for pursuing penalties if you want to post it. Because I know Mitsu often uses them for the highlights. Pit window is open for the one-stop strategy, apparently. So I would assume Pampernik is now has realised the safety car isn't going to happen and is now going to try and take these to the end. Elias overtakes Vanitas because of the pit stop. And Mito has gotten ahead of Vanitas as well. Wolf in response to Valdesroy saying, me and Isaiah were at the back and we both got fucked by the aftermath. Valdesroy describing himself as gutted, as Chrissy also in the pits and serving his 5-second penalty.
Also a wing change.
Yep, and a wing change. Oh, that's not good. I mean, he should come out ahead of Simon still, but he's got a lot of ground to catch up now. So, Mammal currently in 3rd place as Mitso. Just trying to work out the gap here. To Mr. Nathan, 7 plus 2 is... No, hang on. That's plus 7 to lead, so it's 3. How the hell has Mitso done that? Are pit stops just really short here? Plus 4, plus 6, plus...
Vexit has entered the pits. The race leader has
How the hell is Mito only 12 seconds behind Mr. Nathan despite a pit stop? Oh, it's because Mr. Nathan is in the pits, I believe.
They're
No,
all
well,
in the
Mr. Nathan...
pits.
Is the undercut going to work? Mito coming down the pit straight? It does work. It works massively. But it hasn't gone ahead of Vexit, but Mito is now ahead of Mr. Nathan. And in fact, Vanitas is now chasing down Mr. Nathan as well. So Mito has taken second place. So that's about as good as it can be at the minute, unless Mito can catch Vexit. If he does win this race, Mito will be well deserved, because that's been a proper brilliant drive from him. Although Vexit hasn't put a foot wrong, he would equally deserve to win, but it's all down to pace now. Since it doesn't look like the rain's going to stop, and it looks like they're going for a one-stop strategy. Well, nearest gap on the track is Gwyn and Chrissy. Sorry, you were going to say there?
Yeah, I saw, I was watching the timings. Mitso is dropping a little bit to Vexit right now. Just 0.2 a lap.
How's he compared to Mr. Nathan? Mr. Nathan is actually gaining a little bit on Mitso. Although that was going down the back straight, of course, we have to take into account that they're on different parts of the track. And you'll see the gap just goes up again there. But Mr. Nathan, oh, it is coming down slowly. Increasing a little bit there, though. We'll keep an eye on that gap with the lead. Yeah, the gaps are starting to spread out a bit now. The only gap under a second is Mammal and Vanitas, as Chrissy now sets the fastest lap of the race. And will get a point for that at present, because he's currently sitting in P9. Bottasgang has posted a clip, which we can check out after. Simon Lee in the pits.
Okay, no close battles for the moment. The gaps are really big, quite big. Smallest gap is Mammal Vanitas.
Just keeping an eye on them at the minute. Gap is coming down between first and second, but at the rate it's going, Mitsu would not catch Vexit if they all just keep going consistently.
Yeah, he found some extra pace, but I don't think it's enough.
It's enough over Mr. Nathan, though, because the gap has ticked over to the 3-second margin.
Okay, we have yellows in sector 2, that's Renault. Verstappen went off to the side of the road, so we can get on. No damages, it seems. But I think he's still driving a lost race. He's 25 seconds behind Simon Elite. It's like 40 seconds away from P10.
Do you know what? I mean, I respect it. I respect Verstappen and Zaire. You know, yes, they're that far back, but they're keeping on going. Because of the rate, you know, if there's another big pile-up, they could well find themselves in the points just by keeping on going.
Yeah, if you have a safety car in the next few laps, they could become equal to the rest again.
Chrissy, meanwhile, is catching Falsetti at a rate of knots. That's the closest gap on track, and I think Chrissy may be trying to shape a move, not this lap, but the next lap.
Yeah, but he spoiled all his ERS.
Oh.
He's making a move. He's making a move. No, not this time. Still on the steel. It's gonna happen here. Yes, he's on the inside.
Has the inside line around this bend. Falsetti trying to hang it around the outside.
No,
Has the inside from this. Oh! Was that?
I don't.
No.
They touched.
I think they did. There is no way the car would just jerk that fast off. I'm pretty sure. And Falsetti gets 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. I'm sorry, what? That's just dumb. That's just dumb. Well, let's not put past because Chrissy has already put one person in the wall this race. I'm sure Falsetti will provide onboard footage, but the way the car jerked to the left so suddenly, that's not...
Well, I saw Chrissy move to the side in a reaction to that. Falsetti also moved and hit the wall, but I couldn't see if they touched.
The problem is... of course, that while we're watching, we're having lag compensation, so what we see on the cameras may not be what actually happened in the game. But it was just the way that the car moved so suddenly. You know, if Falsetti had lost it of his own accord, generally the back would have rotated because of losing the back end, but it was the front that led, which would imply that he was bashed off to the side.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait for some footage of Falsetti himself.
At which point, you know, as much as you want to say that, you know, well, Chrissy had the racing line, there's also, as the great philosopher Fernando Alonso taught us, all the time you have to leave it a space. And if he was forced off the track, then he went onto those curbs, then that's a bit of an oof. But anywho, let's just see what the Discord is saying. While I turn on the light, I'll be right back. Because of course we are at the tail end of August, so the days are getting a bit shorter. Oh, Tim has posted some footage as well. Again, I don't know if that's for... Well, it must not be for instance, because he hasn't put it in that section. But we'll have a few more replays anyway.
They should post them in the incident section.
But that's only if they want to record them. I feel like we should just have a separate channel for onboard submission, just so that Mitsu doesn't have to travel through the entirety of general chat. You know, for some replay footage that he can put in the streams, or not the streams, the highlight videos. So maybe put them in there. It's like if you want to show your perspective, but you don't want to report it, you know, or maybe you just had a cool moment that you want to share without it being buried under the pile of meme comments and Pepe faces. Back on the track, Vanitas and Mr. Nathan are looking to lock themselves into combat. Vanitas half a second down on Mr. Nathan, who is desperately trying to hold on to that podium. He was standing on the podium last round with Mr. Nathan, but I believe he got knocked off after the penalties were all sorted out. And that, what the? That was
That's some teleporting.
Vanitas using his Super Saiyan instinct.
Teleported in front of Mr. Nathan.
I can't do the Dragon Ball Z teleport sound, you know what I say? What the heck? Again, it could be lag combat. Again, that's what I mean, though. That could be lag compensation. I don't know. Bottas Gang just smiling there in the comments. Falsetti's retired.
Yeah, he's in the pits.
Now, let's see. Will the car actually make it back on the... No, see, it's pulled over there. No, oh wait, no it hasn't. It has come back out onto the track. Everyone behind, watch out. Falsetti's car... That was Verstappen going by it. Just. I really don't understand why the AI is still driving on. Oh god, there's a battle coming up there as well. No, not a battle, sorry, it's lap cars. Gap at the front now 4.9. So the gap is coming down. Sorry, just while we were sorting. Just looking on the map, Mr. Nathan's struggling a little bit now. Mammal is now catching up. He's within a second of Mr. Nathan. Falsetti simply saying, "What a shit game," laughing my ass off. It's F1, you know. It's like Dota. You play it and you don't know why you keep on making yourself suffer with it, but there's just something that keeps drawing you back in.
F1 game that's the closest to the real life game.
Assetto Corsa. R Factor.
Yeah, I know, but it's not as big as this game.
True. Well, actually, even I'm not even talking R Factor 2. The original R Factor still has a very strong following. And of course, you can get F1 cars from all eras there as well. I don't know. If we all got R Factor, it would be interesting to see, because it's obviously... well, let me put it this way. The real-life F1 teams back in the day, and when I say back in the day, not... this was including up until, 2015, 2016, we're still using R Factor 1 for their simulations. They've moved on to R Factor 2 now, but... if they were still using it after all that time, when it came out in, 2001 or something, then must be doing something right. Still 4.5 the gap, 4.4 now. It's coming down slowly. Exit just has to keep on going. Vantas has broken away and is on the course for his first podium of the season, I believe. Which is a bit of a shock for Vantas, considering. But he will happily accept it, if it stays as it is. Pampernik, what might have been, he's down in P10 and unable to even make an impression on Gwyn. Took the 2-stop gamble, hoping for a safety car. Unfortunately, he only got a virtual one, so that sort of ruined his race there. And then, of course, the collision with Chrissy is... Oh my god, on my end, Vanitas jumping all over the place. Again, I can't tell if it's my internet or if it's on Vanitas' end. Or it could just be the servers. And considering it's Codemasters, it probably is the servers. Gaps are spreading out again. How many cars did you say we're going to finish? 11? And I said 8?
Yes. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, you're closer to the virtual 20 quid than I am. Yeah, they actually all kept it surprisingly clean for the most part. I mean, we've had a few big incidents, but it's not like Germany 2019, where there was an incident every lap. And yeah, we're kind of waiting for something to happen in this tail end of the race. 4.3 the gap at the front. Chrissy, hang on, is the nearest gap. Chrissy is catching Marky Mark. That'll be for P7. But the dark cloud of the steward's investigations, plural, is hanging over him somewhat. Because Pampernik does often record footage, and I don't know if Falsetti did. If he did, it would be good if he could post that in instant submissions. Because the stewards do want to have a look at that, preferably. Bottas Gang saying the clips that Tim posted were epic, so we'll have to have a look at those once the race is done.
Okay, that should be interesting.
That was the start line crashes, I believe, and obviously the big incident as well. So Chrissy chasing that Red Bull. Gap is coming down. Will he make the lunge? Not this time. Bides his time. Oh, nearly loses the back end again now. Chrissy, can we please have a clean overtake this time? Because the last two have been anything but. I think Marky Mark will be happy with the points, though, considering he started, I believe, P18. Same for Gwyn, actually. He started fairly far down the order. Pardon me. I just had a big dinner, so I apologize for the noises. He loves that corner there. He loves trying to go down the inside of that long left-hander. But doesn't get alongside this time. 3.9 the gap at the front, but with only 5 laps to go. If it stays as is, I doubt Mita will catch Vexit.
Vexit does not make any mistakes, he will win this race.
Yep. I hope we haven't put the commentator's curse upon him. As Gwyn gets 3 seconds for multiple points, I thought that was going to be Vexit for a second. I thought, oh god, we've cursed him. Speaking of cursing, Marky Mark will be cursing his luck here, surely. No, Chrissy doesn't make the move again. And Marky Mark making that car as wide as he possibly can, and it was already pretty wide to begin with. Any other gaps on the track? Not really. Mr. Nathan and Twitch are looking pretty close, but not close enough. So this is the battle we are watching at the minute. And we try to stick with the battles, unlike real life Sky F1 who just want to look at Lewis Hamilton's arsehole for the entire race. And Elias with a 3-second time penalty as well. That could play handily into Marky Mark and Chrissy's hands. Because of course a whole bunch of them had 5-second penalties, well they should have all served them in their pit stops by now. Whether they will want them debated is up to them. So we head onto the back straight again. Can Chrissy do it this time? Seems a bit closer. As the run, does it? No, he doesn't. Both drivers obviously saving their battery power, the overtake button for that straight, and it's just allowing Marky Mark to hold on. Oh, yeah. Is that Azire?
Yes, that's Azire. The end of pit exit.
Oh, and that's that looks like a Ferrari in the wall. Is that Mike?
That's Mike, yeah. Lost it in the last corner. Hit the wall.
Did he, or was he braking to let the leaders by? Because he is getting lapped by pretty much everyone at this point.
Yeah, that's also a possibility.
As Azire retires, only had 3 laps to go, but he wasn't anywhere near the points.
He retired on the track.
Did he crash, or did he just pull over? It's hard to tell from the map. Codemasters, let us look at cars on the track until they've disappeared. Because I'd like to actually see the drivers where they've crashed. Meantime, back with the battle, Chrissy has dropped back a little bit now. As Simon Lee gets 5 seconds. Or 3 seconds, sorry. For multiple warnings. And the gap at the front is now 4.3. I think Mitsu's tyres maybe are going a little bit and he can't afford to push any more. He'll probably just settle for second. Which is probably not in Mitsu's vocabulary, but he doesn't have a lot of choice right now.
Well, second or not, it's very good for his points.
Yes, I believe, assuming Vexit wasn't as close as I thought now, with 18 points he should retake the lead in the championship. Certainly they'll all overtake Bottas gang. I don't know if Vexit wasn't close enough for 7 points to make a difference for the lead of the championship, but it will certainly boost his chances. There's still 2 laps to go. It's slippy conditions. The tires are wearing off. Anything could still happen here. So it's never over until you've crossed the finish line. And Marky Mark will seriously be hoping for that finish line to come up very soon. As they go on to start lap 34. So 3 to go, including this one. As I say, it's been a rather quiet tail end of the race, but it's been a pretty good first outing for the Netherlands. Not quite Germany 2019, but plenty of thrills and spills.
Well, to be honest, I expected a lot more crashes, a lot more people going off track, but they all it seemed like they were driving very clean, except a few incidents.
I was going to say,
well,
I was going to say, you know,
but
I was going to say a new person would come to the stream and say, "Oh, as Chrissy up the inside,
yes.
Surely." As Marky Mark tries to keep the nose in, will Marky Mark lunge back? Let's stick with this for a little bit. No, he's falling back, and Chrissy. And Chrissy takes 7th place. 20 seconds now behind Elias, so I think that'll be it for Chrissy. As I was saying, anyone new to the stream would look at this and say, "What? You've only got 13 runners left. How's this keeping it clean?" Did Chrissy hit the wall? Chrissy very nearly hit the wall at my end. Does this give Marky Mark a chance? There's no damage on Chrissy's car, but a little mistake like that could prove costly. But yeah, 13 cars finishing, that's roughly about average for this league, to be honest. So even though it looks like a high attrition rate, don't worry, that's just normal. Oh, the drifts that Chrissy is getting. And Marky Mark trying to take advantage. This is not over yet. This is what I was saying about the likes of Mr. Nathan. They may not be as fast, but they keep it clean, they keep it consistent. And Chrissy has been, well, let's just say very generous with the accelerator pedal this race. And if he makes mistakes like that, it does make you wonder, is that what happened with the likes of Falsetti and stuff? Did he just put the accelerator down a bit too early and end up swiping over to the side, bumping the curb very aggressively? But he is getting the gap up. Doesn't have to worry about the second difference, of course, because there is no DRS. And let's cut back to the leader now, because he is on his final lap. Coming into the third sector now, and well, if you want to see a Williams winning a Grand Prix, this is probably the only place you're going to see it for some time. Barring a miracle at Monaco, like 1996, but that's unlikely. But round the long bend, he hasn't put a foot wrong, has Vexit. Neither has Mito, for that matter, but only one of them can take the win, and it's a thoroughly deserved win in the Netherlands for Vexit. P1. Mito, a stunning drive, recovers to P2. And Vanitas, assuming there's no penalties, should hold on to P3. Mr. Nathan just misses out on the podium again, assuming there's no penalties. Mammal in P5, very impressive from him. Elias now coming around the final bend. 6th place, I think he'll be happy enough with that.
I think compared to his last race,
Yep,
still is,
P6.
without points. So I think he's happy.
As Chrissy and Marky Mark are still technically battling, although Marky Mark has fallen back. But will Chrissy take any penalties for those incidents? We'll find out in a wee bit, as Verstappen smashes his car over the line and actually gets recorded as a DNF. Yeah, because we do keep DNFs as separate records. Gwyn will take 9th, And Pampernick, what a disappointing weekend for him. Only P10 for the championship contender. Verstappen, you do realize your Renault mechanics have to rebuild that car, right? Oh, Pampernick gets 9th, sorry, based on countback.
Okay, so someone had a penalty.
That'll be win, probably. Vanitas with driver of the day. I would have put it more for Mizzo, but... although Vanitas was further down the order, so no, that's fair enough, actually. I'd agree with that, then.
The game mostly looks at the position she gained for the driver of the day.
Well, then, in that respect.
So
in that respect, yes, fair enough.
Force India and what's the other one? AlphaTauri on the podium.
Guys, seriously, you're all taking selfies on the podium. Where the hell do you keep your phone? Last time I checked, these racing cars don't have phone holders and your suits don't have pockets. Do they all keep... Is this like a magician? Do they all just take off their hats and pull a phone out of there or something?
Well, didn't have Lewis Hamilton his phone on the podium once?
Sure, what was it? Lewis Hamilton, or not Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica back in 2010. I remember someone found a phone in his cockpit. Can you take screenshots, please, of...
Yes.
Or at least, even on stream, if I scroll up and down just real quick. Yeah, because that means I can at least look back at the VOD and see the time differences and stuff.
Yeah, I got screenshots recorded.
Yeah, I mean, so long as you scroll up and down and the VOD shows it recorded, you know, then we can look back on the VOD. But there you go. Vexit takes his first win, and the first win of the season for Williams. Mizzo from 5th to 2nd. Vantas 15th to 3rd, so very impressive there. Mr. Nathan, a consistent race, but it wasn't enough to hold on to the podium. Mammal only drops 1 place. Elias was 3rd on the grid. I forgot about that. Chrissy has the dark cloud looming over him, which would be a shame because he was 16th and made up to 7th. Marky Mark 17th to 8th, which is equally impressive. Pampernick started 11th, only finishing 9th on the track. And Gwyn taking the final point for Alfa Romeo.